Welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod. For this episode, much like I've been doing, let's just talk about what's been going on in the NBA. We had a Dallas-Orlando game yesterday that I felt was interesting. I felt that game was very telling of what we're seeing right now. So Dallas has been playing really well, really scoring, but we haven't seen Luka. We haven't really seen that Luka magic, as they say. And last night, Luka dropped 32 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. There's that big Luka game we've been looking for. We also had Kyrie Irving add 17, Daniel Gafford add 18, and on the other side for Orlando, starting lineup combined for 44 points, and they scored 85 in total. That's not going to do it. Like, we know they're missing a big piece and missing Paolo Banchero. We know that's a big key component to Orlando's success. But you have to have guys that can go get it. That's not Paolo. Jalen Suggs had a really good game on Friday. I thought maybe Orlando would look to him as their new leader, as their scorer. But last night he put up 10 points. Like, we need more than that if Orlando wants to be successful and wants to have any shot to be around the playoff area by the time Paolo comes back. You're without this man for 6 weeks at least. Like, you need more than that from Jalen Suggs. He needs to step up and be the guy for them right now. I believe he has to be him and Franz, but Franz is also, he's not the ball handler. Suggs is the ball handler. Suggs has to do what Paolo did. He has to score enough that he opens shots for other players. As where Franz, he's not that guy. He's not going to be the passer. He can go out and get you 20 or 30, but he's not going to be the guy setting teammates up. Suggs is. So I want to see more from him for Orlando, and I think that's the only way Orlando stays close to being a top, like, out of the play-in game. Because we know if Paolo's playing, they're a lot better than playing. You don't want to be around the area. You don't want to say Paolo has a bad game late in the season playing. You end up missing the playoffs because you were around the play-in area. You don't want to be around that area. You don't want to get stuck where maybe you're playing against Chicago, and Chicago does what they did in Milwaukee a little bit ago and rains threes, and you lose that game, and now you miss the playoffs. You don't want to be around that area. So, I want to see more from Suggs. I think he has to take on the leader role without Paolo. And let's talk about some other games. We had Cleveland-Milwaukee. Felt was a very, very good game on Saturday night. We saw Cleveland go down 16 in the fourth quarter, but then we seen that new playing style, that new Kenny Atkinson playing style that they've been playing so well at. And on top of the new playing style, they remained calm. They didn't stop panicking because they were down big. They just kept playing their game, and they kept chipping away at that lead, till it was a 1-point defect at halftime. From then on, we saw like 10 or more lead changes in that game. That was one heck of a game to watch. You saw a big game from Dame Lillard, like about 11 or 12 threes, 41 points. You saw Giannis, 30-some points, double-digit rebounds. Then we saw Donovan Mitchell end up hitting the game winner with 0.3 left. It was just a really good game, and the great thing about it, guys, we get to see that again tonight, and that's big. The fact that we get to see them to go A again, I'm down for that. I'm waiting for that game. I want to see it. We also seen New York just wow the Detroit Pistons the other night. Final score was 128-98. Now, why I bring up that game, it's not really a significant game. It's not a game you would think, hey, well, they won by 30 points. But we're seeing 44 from Cat a couple games ago. Then we're seeing 21 from Cat. He's being that second guy on the team where we know Brunson's the guy. We wanted to see, like, hey, who's going to be the second guy? We know it should be Cat, but it wasn't Cat. Now it's Cat. And that's when New York gets dangerous. I like seeing Bridges more as a fourth or fourth guy like he was in Phoenix with Booker and Chris Paul. I think that role suits him better. I don't think he needs to be the guy or the second guy. I think he's better as a fourth or fourth player, and that's what we get to see from him too. And then on top of it, as I mentioned, we get to see the best of Cat, which is where he gets to just be him and he gets to play his style, and we've been seeing that as of late. We saw on the other side of that trade, we saw Minnesota drop a game to San Antonio. I think we just need consistency from Minnesota. I'm not sure we know who they are right now. We talk about identity offensively, defensively. I don't know that Minnesota has their identity right now. I'm not sure Minnesota knows who they are on either side of the ball. And I mean, there was a big changeover. You lost Cat. You lost just the big presence, the guy that you've been going to for the last few years. Then Ant came along. Ant became the guy you went to, but you still had Karl-Anthony Towns there. Now you lost that. Now it's a different playing style when you go to Wendell and you go to Edwards. Cat was a guy that you could mix in and you could put him in the post a little bit. You could do some pick and pops. You could do stuff like that, and you could just get him outside and get him some shots that off the ball for Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle is not that guy. Julius Randle is a guy that more or less has to create for himself. So now it takes away bringing a guy off the ball to catch and shoot, and it goes where you have two guys that really their best is by them setting themselves up. So very interesting to see how they start making that work, but the fact is right now it's not. And I don't really get why you traded Cat away, and if you did, why you just got Julius Randle for him. So, I mean, you got Dante DiVincenzo too, but I'm just saying I feel like you lost a big piece, a big star on a reason you made the conference finals. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. And like I said, I think New York got a really good pickup there, especially when they're letting Cat be Cat. Let's go real quick to our Vegas picks for November 4th, 2024. We have Milwaukee at Cleveland. We have Cleveland minus 7.5. I'd go Milwaukee on this, and I'd go over 234. We have Golden State at Washington. We have Washington minus 10.5. I'd go Golden State on this. And yeah, I'd go under 243 just because that's such a high number. We have the Lakers at the Pistons. We have the Pistons plus 7.5. I'd go Lakers on this one. I think they'll win by more than 8. And yeah, I'd go under 227. We have Celtics at Hawks. We have the Hawks minus 10.5. Go for Celtics on this one. And I'd go under 242. We have Grizzlies at Nets. We have the Nets at plus 4.5. Going to go with the Grizzlies on this one. And I'm going to go under 226. We have the Kings at the Heat. We have the Heat at plus 1.5. Going to go Sacramento on this. And I'm going to go over 224. We have Utah at Chicago. We have the Bulls at minus 8.5. And I'm going to go with the Bulls on this. And we'll go for over 236. We have the Knicks at Rockets. We just spoke on the Knicks and how good they're playing. We have Rockets at 1.5. I'm going with the Knicks on this one. And I'm going to go over 225. We have the Charlotte Hornets at the Minnesota Timberwolves. We have the Timberwolves at minus 9.5. I'm going to go with Charlotte on this one. As I spoke, I'm not really sure who Minnesota is yet. We're going to go over 230. We have the Orlando Magic at the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have Thunder at minus 12.5. I'm going with the Thunder on this. And we're going over 214. We have the Trailblazers at the Pelicans. We have the Pelicans at minus 2.5. This is tough because they've played a couple times already. I think they've each won one. But I'm going to go with the Pelicans on this one. And I'm going to go under 227. We have the Pacers at the Mavericks. Very interesting game out there. That could be game of the night. It's going to be a really good one. High-octane offense in that one. So I'm going over 235. I want to start off with that. We have the Mavericks at minus 5.5. We're going to go with the Mavericks on that one. We have the Toronto Raptors at the Denver Nuggets. We have the Nuggets at minus 10.5. They just went to overtime the other night against each other. I don't see the Nuggets winning by 11, so I'm going to go with Toronto on this, and we're going to go over 217. We have the Sixers at the Suns, which should be Paul George's return, but the Suns are red hot. So I don't see the Sixers taking this one. We have the Suns at minus 7.5. We're going to stick with the Suns on that one. We are going to go over 234. Then our last game, we have the San Antonio Spurs at the Los Angeles Clippers. Very close game. They have the Clippers at minus 3.5. I'd go with the Clippers on that, and I would go over 218. Thank you for watching. If I sound a little hoarse, it's because I've been dealing with a little bit of, I don't know if it's allergies or a small cold or whatever, but thank you guys for sticking with me despite the fact that I want to get this episode out to you guys. I'll be back Wednesday. Hopefully I feel better, and I want to make sure I keep bringing you guys this content, and also keep looking on my page daily, because if I'm not doing an episode, I'm just posting the Vegas picks on my YouTube page. So you'll see it as like a discussion, like where I've just posted and what I pick, and it's easy read. So like I said, just stay posted, keep watching the show. And as I've been saying, big things coming. We're going to try to get some more guests on here, get multiple people that's been on here again, looking at a few of those, and try to get maybe some new people on here too. That'd be pretty fun. Also looking into doing something where like just a lot of people talking about basketball. It's going to be a little kind of spin off of this pod. I'm looking into that, where it's just going to be kind of like a round table of just a bunch of people talking basketball. And it's going to be some fun basketball talk. It's going to be a blast. So stay tuned and keep watching. Big things coming. And yeah, we're having fun here. We're just talking basketball, and I'm loving it. See you Wednesday.